Today, so far, first of all, good evening, folks. Today, so far, in the last 3 to 4 episodes of this trading webinar, we have been doing a lot of technical analysis webinars, like how to do technical analysis with Fibonacci. Then we did with Ichimoku. Then we did some flatline tradings. Then we also did Heiken-Ashi last week, right? So Heiken-Ashi shows us how to stay in the trend, and the Fibonacci will show us what are the different levels. And also in the Fibonacci, we talked about the Fibonacci time zones, where you can tell, hey, where the next time zone could be, right? So, but today we're going to talk about a little bit different aspect, okay? This is called the Gann Technical Analysis, where we can predict both the price and time, right? So how do we predict that? That's what we are going to look into it. So let's get started. So first, before we get started, I just wanted to bring up the disclaimer. All this information is only for educational purposes. And also, trading is a very risky business and you could lose all your money. So, okay, so use your own discretion when you're making trading business. Just wanted to bring the disclaimer up and then we'll get started. So what is the agenda? So the agenda for today is we will first introduce who is Gann and what are his techniques all about. And then second, we'll talk about what are the Gann techniques that we are going to talk about. And then the third one is we'll go into details into what are the different techniques like Gann Emblem, Gann Square of Nine, and Gann Square. Oh, then this one is coming up. So let's talk about this introduction. Who is W.D. Gann? W.D. Gann is a legendary trader who was born in 1878, and he had a remarkable trading career. Okay, he was a mathematician and he was also an astrologer. He did multiple things, but he was the first one who used the astrology techniques in predicting the prices in the commodities market. So that's what he's all about. So he used to trade commodities, like he used to predict, hey, when will the wheat, let's say you're trading soy, he'll say how much will the price go up and in what time frame it goes up. So he was able to predict it to the precise level that it was within 2 to 3 days he could get that prices, right? So, having studied Gann, one thing about him is he did a lot of courses in it, but there were not many people who clearly got a grasp of it. But he wrote some books too. But those books are very theoretical and they don't provide step by step. So, using that theory, we can say, okay, we can experiment and we can find out, okay? Those kind of things. My bottom line, what I'm trying to say is, still there are a lot of techniques that he talked about. People are still experimenting and seeing how he came up with that. Why his techniques are so popular? Because his techniques can be used in any markets and time frames, and his techniques are accurate and very effective. We had 96% success ratio. That means he was like, he made 50 million in the 20th century, which is almost equivalent to 600 million. So with that kind of, nobody in the trading history has had this kind of success ratio, 96%. That is why still, if you go, there's a site called Art of Trading, where they publish all these Gann books, and some books are really, really expensive, like $400, like that. I mean, it's pretty, there are a lot of people who do research on these, on his studies, okay? Just wanted to bring that up. So what are the 3 techniques that we are going to use? Is the Gann Emblem. Again, I wanted to emphasize this. Gann Emblem is a technique that will tell you exactly when the reversal will happen, okay? For example, if the stocks are going up and we have been telling, oh, all the stocks are very expensive, then how do we do this? Then that means, so he was able to predict with this emblem exact reversal dates. But unfortunately, not many softwares support this emblem, Gann emblem, right? So we may not be able to touch more on this, but it is something that you can draw and you can predict if you know the future dates. We'll touch briefly on it. but there's not much information on the internet also, as I mentioned about the Gann. But people who use it are able to predict exactly when the prices will go up or down. But we'll talk more in detail about the next two techniques, Gann Square of Nine and Gann Fans. And there are many more, like he uses like, in addition to Gann Square of 9, he talks about Gann Square of 12, Gann Square of 144, Gann time peaks, and all those things. So there's a lot of research going on, but unfortunately, there's not much material available. So you have to read a lot of books to know this information. Okay, so let's get moving. So what is a Gann emblem? A Gann emblem is nothing but a circle within which you draw a square, within which you draw multiple triangles. What does it mean? What does it mean? Now, where does this came from? This came from the astrology cycle. If you go into Indian astrology, for people who are well versed with astrology, they might have seen this. Like if you have taken your horoscope, there'll be like a circle, and inside that there'll be a square and there'll be a triangle. So this concept is exactly based on that. So what he's telling is, if you look into this diagram, the square represents the highs or the lows, and the triangles, that is the line drawn between the diagonal and all, they could be the lows also. You see here, the high is formed on the edge of the square that is interacting the circle. So the whole circle represents the stock cycle. And if you put any of your prices, for example, you say the high of the stock, the previously was December 18th, and you were able to, then you will be able to predict the prices. And if you rotate it, some of the software support rotating of these, you'll be able to predict the future prices. So I just put a picture here to give you an idea, but we may not be able to really look into it, but I will further research into see if there is any more information. But there is not much information available, but there are some softwares like Hub Financial that supports that, but I haven't used it. Has anybody used this Gann by any chance? Folks, have you got a chance to look at any of those softwares like Hub or Ninja Trader or something like that? I think they're mostly in India. In India, they support these Ganns a lot more than in the United States. Basically, they believe that they can predict the market and all those kind of things. But yeah, so not many major software support this, tools. Okay. So there is as I mentioned, there is a very limited information available on the emblem. So, but if you want to get some information on how it is, I've provided a link here. This is one of the links that has some comprehensive information that could provide you a gist of what it is about. Okay, that's it. So let's move on. Okay, have you, this is called a Gann Square of 9. Has anybody seen this before? Guys, are you able to hear me? Or am I talking to myself?
Yes, no, we are able to
Yes, we can hear you.
Has anybody seen this before?
No.
Okay.
No.
So Srini, when you don't hear anything, you consider that
Okay, sure.
no for because if somebody already did it, they'll say yes.
Yeah. No. Okay, that's fine. I want to get that feedback, like I'm the only one talking here. That's what it is. Okay, cool. So first of all, I wanted to tell you what is this Gann Square of 9. It is nothing but a numbers written in a particular order. If you see here, everything is going in a clockwise order. You see this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is forming a square. It's a 3 by 3 square. That means why it is called Gann Square of 9? Because the first square in the Gann Square of 9 ends with 9. That is the only reason behind it. If you look at the next square, it starts from 10, 11, 12, 13, and it goes on and it ends with the square 25. So if you notice, if you notice like 9, 25, 49, 81, if it goes on like this, these are odd number squares. Okay. And if you look at here, 5, 17, 37, 65, 101, they are even number square plus 1. Okay. Okay. Now, the major thing what you have to do is, if you look at any square, the four corners of the square act as the support and the resistances. Let's say your stock price was at $1. The next major resistance will be at 3. That means it has to pass this level of 3. So just like your flat line support and resistance, right? If it is from 1, it will go to 2, but it may not cross 3. So this is called a support or the level that is given by Gann. If it crosses 3, it will go to 4, but it may not cross 5. So these gives you the inherent support and resistances. And these things, you can always have it, right? Basically, you don't even need a chart to look at the support and the resistances sometimes. You can just look at these things and you can say, hey, what are my support and resistances? Okay, we'll be doing it a little bit more. Now, when it comes from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, that is a complete rotation and it is called a 360-degree rotation. But when it moves from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, it's called a 45-degree rotation, 90, 45, 90, 135, 180. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. Everything is a 45, 90, 135, 360. So that it goes like that. So you got to be careful on these things, right? So if you see here in the same line, 1, 2, 11, all these are the 45-degree angles for these things, if you see that. And this will become the 90-degree angles for this. So, and this will be, so all these resistances you need to consider, okay? Now, in the US market, the stocks tend to go to complete 90 degrees or multiple of 90 degrees. So what do I mean by that? It completes the 90 degrees all the time, okay? So we'll look at some examples later. How does this work? To see some live examples and see if this is correct. So whenever it completes a multiple of 90, there's a possibility of it for it to retrace. If it is not, then it will go to the next multiple of 90. Okay, that's how it works. So this is what is a Gann Square of 9. We are going to look into it in more detail, but just wanted to give you an idea. It is like a pure math. It is an odd square and an even square. That's all it's all about. Okay. So the third thing that we are going to look at it today is the Gann Fans. The Gann Fans are nothing but it correlates your price and time. How 1 unit of price is related to 1 unit of time. So now later we're going to see that also. Where the price is in sync is called a 45-degree angle. This line is very magnetic. That means if the prices are above this price, it will come down to this line. If the prices are below this price, it will go back to this line. These lines can be they can be used as dynamic support and resistances, and also this can be used on any time frames. If you are a swing trader, I would recommend it to use it on a weekly chart, and this works well in conjunction with the fib retracements and extensions. Okay, okay. Now so far so good. So now we'll do some live examples and see what we are looking at. Okay. Give me a minute, guys. I'm trying to open my chart. Okay. So we are looking at pre-market, post-market. It is like, okay. Now let's look at Walmart. It is for tomorrow, right? Basically. So what is happening in Walmart, right? Let's look at the weekly chart just to see where it is going. So if I look at the Gann fan, first of all, how do I draw the Gann fan? See, when Gann did it, Gann didn't have these automated charts or anything like that. He had a plain sheet of paper where he had the X and the Y axis, where the Y axis represented the price and X axis represented the time. Now what he did is he made sure that they both are in the same way. What I meant by that is they are equidistant or like proportional. Okay, but unfortunately, in today's market, today's chart, it's not. It could not be in your control. Sometimes you can do it, but there's another way to do it. How? By drawing a square. Let me show you. If I draw a square, basically your goal is to get a 45-degree angle from the lowest point. So what we recommend the Gann fan is to draw from the lowest of the thing. So let's say I draw a square here and I go here and I put it here. Now we know that a diagonal drawn from within the square is a 45-degree angle line, right? So if we draw a diagonal through this thing, what does it show? It is showing us that it is here. So look at this. Remember, this is the line I was talking about, the 45-degree angle. Forget about this Fibonacci for right now. So this 45-degree angle is telling me that it has more time, more space to go to this line, 161.25, $160. So this is what I was telling you sometime back. It has a chance of going to $160 tomorrow for earnings. That's what. So let us look at another example, maybe to show. Let's look at NEO. How does NEO look? NEO looks extremely bullish. It has earnings tomorrow, basically. So you look at this. Let's draw this again for the sake of. So is it the lowest? Let me see. I'm trying to get some clarity. Let's take this point. It doesn't matter. Wherever you draw it is the same. But this looks like a square, right? So let's go here. And let's see what happens. So look at this guy. NEO is looking extremely, if the NEO is already gave their earnings or what? It's 47.20?
Tomorrow AM.
Okay, tomorrow evening, I think, right? So you look at this, this has a lot of gap. There are two things that can happen. One, it just came out of, if you see these lines, right? I wanted to explain a little bit about this line. If you see this line, right? This is where it is going proportionate in time, right? But if let's say it crosses this line, you will see like huge moves. Like, it will not be like the price. This line is called 2:1. That means your price is moving 2 times in relation to your time. That means you're seeing fast move. For example, if you take an ATR for this is like 569. If you are closer to this line, you will see like $10 move in that week. Rather than it will be more that kind of a thing. But around this line, it will be around 569 or something like that. But once it crosses this line, it's extremely bullish. Stocks above this line are considered to be extremely bullish. Stocks below this line are considered to be bearish. But in this case, NEO is trying to cross this line and it moved this. Now, what do these lines represent? It's called 1:2. That means below this line, the stocks are trying to move not in proportion to the time. That means for every 2 units of time, you'll see 1 unit of price. That's what it is. So these are 2:1, 3:1, 4:1 like that. And this is 1:2 like that. Okay. So this is what it is. So NEO is looking like this. So let us look at some chart which has already done so that we can see what has happened.
Srini, can we look at Home Depot?
Home Depot. This is Home Depot. Home Depot is like, it is way above, let's remove this line so that Home Depot is looking extremely bullish too, if it is seen. So basically it can, if you see this line is way, let's say you're not getting a clear picture on this line, okay? Let me, this line is not right. This is because I do it before. Yeah, now it is better. Let me delete this. Let's try again. Oh, okay. This is the line, right? you see this, it is trying to, whenever you see that this line is, it's between these lines, there are two possibilities. One, it is going either down or it is going up. How do you determine that? You can determine by saying, hey, this is this one. If you see today at Home Depot, it closed above the moving average 10, which is the short-term uptrend. And it also closed above the conversion. So there's a good possibility of this going up. Now, will it reach here or here? 325, now I need to talk about something else, which is called Gann Square of 9, right? Now, let's say, how do you write the Gann Square of 9? Where could this go? So let's look at this. How much is the lowest of here, guys? It's 281, right? So I want to educate, this is a little bit math, guys. Please be patient if you can't. So this is the starting point, 281. Now, can you tell me, guys, where does this number fall between what squares?
Excuse me, why is it 281?
16 square is 256, right? And 17 square
15.
is 289.
No,
14
why
and
did you
15.
start at 281?
Or why did I put 281? Is that not the question?
Yeah.
Okay. This is, I'm trying to see where it could go from this low. Okay.
Yeah, that is 265, right?
Oh, sorry, it's I'm sorry, it's 262. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I looked at it wrong. 262.03, right? Now tell me, it is in between 16 square and 17 square.
No, it is 15 and 16. 15 and 16, right?
15 is 225 and 16 is 256, right?
Oh, 256. Oh, I just crossed 250. I'm sorry. You're right.
Okay. So 16 square is 256. If you remember in the Gann Square of 9, I said all the diagonals are the even squares and the odd squares, right? So how do you calculate each of those angles? So in here, what you do is, first of all, 16 square plus 1 is, let me show you here, plus 1 is 257. Then 17 square is 289. Now, how much is each angle? How you want to compute what is the 45-degree angle? Okay, this is between, if it is going between 16 and 17, that is a 180 degrees. Because you remember it is a diagonal, so that is a 180 degrees. They lie on the same line, right? So that means, how do I do that? So I do that by 289 minus 257. That is equivalent to 32. That is the 180-degree angle, 180. Now, if I divide by 4, it will be 8. Now, what I do is, from 262.03, I make it to, for 8 will give me the next resistance, 270.03. Then the next, I add again an 8, it becomes 278.03. Then I add again an 8, 286.03. Are you getting that, what I'm doing here?
Yeah, kind of. Let's see. Look at it. Let's go through one more time. Basically, what you did is 257. You went. How did we pick the 257 again?
No, 16 square. Remember, okay, let me show my this thing, right?
16 square plus 1. Right?
I was.
Oh yeah, no, sorry. On the chart, the right, the top right, right? Yeah. The way it was going was even number plus 1, square plus 1, correct?
Yes. So what I did is I got the 180 degrees between two numbers. It's always 180 degrees. That's the consecutive numbers, right? 16 and 17. So what we do is we try to get the difference to get the 45-degree angle. So if you look at it, 260, it went, let's look at a little bit about this guy. It is 262.03, then it went to 272.03. It went 135 degrees, guys. You see this? 270.03, 278.03, 286.03. So it went to 286.03. Where is it? Here. And then it retraced back to where? 269.25. That means it came back to this guy. Is that right? Are you following me, guys? No?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If you, I want you to look in terms of angles, okay? 262.03, let's look at line charts to not really avoid any confusion. So it covered 135 degrees, okay? It didn't cover 195, right? So I told you in US markets, it's always 190 degrees is a very good thing. And this 295 is a very, very critical angle. The reason being is, this is now the first time it is crossing the 289, which is an odd square. That means the rotation is completed. Any odd square is a very, very important angle, because at the end of the odd square, there will be a new rotation forming in the Gann Square of 9. That makes sense what I'm talking about? So that's why, so my concern is, if it goes to 295, there's a possibility of it to retracing back, okay? If it doesn't retrace here, then it might go further. Let's look in further, okay? I'm just trying to give you an idea here. So 295, then it's a 225-degree angle. From here, now if you understand, 17 square is 289, 18 square is how much? I want you to get this right. 18 square plus 1 is 325, right? Now the difference between 325 minus 289, it increases. It will become 36. So 36 divided by 4 is equal to 9. That is why when it went from 286, the next angle, I put it 9 more instead of 8.
Oh, I see.
So 295.03, then 304.03, then I did 313.03. You see that? It's going on. So 313.03, then 322.
So until you hit the 325, you're going to go 9, then you will be going to whatever that comes next.
If it crosses 295 and it doesn't break, it doesn't break below again, there's a very good possibility of HD going to 325. Okay, that's what I meant to say. 322.03, that is 331. The next angle is 331. So, but how much angle is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a complete 360-degree rotation, which can happen to HD. But is that possible? Let's see tomorrow. If I draw this, if I see here, there's a possibility of 326 to going to the line. So that's why I think tomorrow we might see a big move above 300. It might, because it looks, but there's one more resistance here, flat line, which is 286.31. I hope it can break that. So there'll be some hiccups there, and in the coming weeks, it can go. By tomorrow, I'm expecting 295 at least. And maybe later weeks, we might see if it breaks through 295, because the Gann Square of 9 is here, the Gann fan is here. It's looking like it wants to go fast to 331.
Tomorrow is earnings, right?
Tomorrow is earnings, yeah. Make sense, guys?
Is it before the market or after market?
Before the market.
Oh, so we can't get in.
That's okay, man. You will get.
I know.
286.31, you might get a chance. Okay, that's okay. Okay. So that is how you look at it. So again, this is all probability game. What we are looking at is the odds of us going, since the Gann fan line is here and all the prices tend to attract to this line. There's a possibility that for the earnings, so far it has been going up and down to get to this price. If you look at it, guys, I wanted to show you something. When sometimes you see the stocks are like going up and down, right? But one thing you should notice, as it goes up and down, for example, let me show you CellH, which was a recent winner for us. Like, you know, it was like consolidating here. Look at this. It made a huge move to 34.05. We sold it at 30, but look at this. It's still going to 36.06. So it is going to hit 37, the next flat line, next 37, and then retrace. So you should use if you are a long-term trader, and if you are not like a short-term trader, you should definitely use this Gann Fans for your long-term portfolio. That is where I was talking about your crash-proof portfolio, where you can use you can replace all your stocks with options, lead calls, and then you can play this. You will have much more high profitability. Okay? So yeah, that is the way to go, guys. You need to use these Gann Fans to give you assertion, especially around earnings. A lot of people think earnings might be a gamble, but if you play correctly, not making much move, then it can, I mean, if you buy enough time and then do that, it could be, again, this is all a probability game. I'm not saying everything is going to, one thing is you should draw it correctly, you should look at all the parameters correctly, and then those kind of things. Go ahead. Yeah. You are telling something, Rampali?
I was not, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I was on mute. I'm sorry.
Hey,
So
Srini.
that is how we do the Gann fans. So usually what I do is I use the Gann fans for the weekly charts, and I use my Gann Square of Nine for my daily charts. Usually because we want to, usually we do the time frames of 2 to 3 weeks. But yeah, so like, you want to look at any chart? Any
Yeah. Can you please check for the target? It is day after tomorrow. Yeah.
Who is this?
This is Subarao.
Hey Subbarao, how are you, man?
Hey, Srini. Nice. Thank you.
Hey, sure. So first thing we need to do is see the Gann fan, okay? How does it look? Basically, before we go any further. So let's take the lowest of the lowest and see how it looks. It looks extremely bullish according to Ichimoku. That looks perfectly good for us. I think, okay, let's draw this Gann fan here and see how does it look. Oh, it looks bullish. So the next thing what you want to do is, let's draw something on this. So what was the highest high here? This was the highest high. Usually when I do this, I do a 90-degree move. So it went, wow, target went to a high of 167.25 and then it has fallen a lot. So let's say 156, 162. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a 90-degree angle here. So I could have drawn the line from here, or let's see here. Let's take a line chart and see how it looks. Excuse me. You see, this is the line chart, right? If you see the line chart, it went from 143.38 to 166. So now tell me, can somebody tell me how much will be the angle? Let's do it together. From 143 to 143 to
143 right on 12, basically 143, 144 is 12, right? So
143.38 to a high of, where is the high? 167.25, yeah. So it looks like it wants to go to 174, but let's confirm that, okay. 143 is what, guys? Close to 12 square, right? That's what you're saying, okay.
144 is 12.
But it is not, right? 143.78, so let's take
Right.
11 square, okay? By 11 square. But you're right, it is crossing 12 square. So we'll take that 143.38. Then it is going to, how much is it? The difference, anybody? Math, okay.
Is it 165.95? What is the number it is going to?
No.
What is the
What
next
is the
number?
next square? What is the next square?
Oh, next square. 15 into 220, 12 and 13, 169, which is
169
116 is 26.
No. 24.
160, 169, right? 169 minus
145, right? 12
yeah,
square, 144 plus 1, 145.
I thought you were subtracting from 143.38.
No, we don't do that. But we
Okay.
are trying to get that angle, right? Basically,
Okay.
so 24 divided by 4 is 6, right? So what we are doing is, let's remove the 38 for right now, just to keep it simple. So 149, 155, 161, 167, 174. The problem is it has already completed 160, the 180-degree angle. But what has happened after that? It has gone down from, how much did it fall? From 167.25, it went to, so I am thinking it may not even go there. So it went to how much angle? It went to
150.
38.5. So we are looking at 170, folks, tomorrow.
Okay, great. Thanks.
So because it went to 37.5 retracement, that will go to 112.5. So it is definitely there's a very less chance of it going to 174. But so it can touch 170. Okay, that's what it is. Because it completed 180 degrees. After touching 170, it might go down again. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what it looks like. Okay, yeah, that's how I would play it. Anything else? Any other charts? We have like 7 more minutes.
So are you done with that Neo analysis? Just wanted to find out.
Yeah, let's look one more time here.
Yeah, I think we were about in the middle actually. You stopped it, so I
So
was
this is
wondering.
the Gann fan, right? Let's look at this one. So let's look at this. Let's look at this one only, right? It went from a low of 38.11. It went to low of 38.11 to 54.20. So let's look at this one also. So look at this chart. It's amazing actually. Whatever happens, it will go up. You won't lose money. So I think. But look at this 38.11 and it went to 54.20. So this one, right? These kind of charts you have to play a little different. If I take that again, what is the difference between 38 and wait a minute, I'm thinking to myself, so that I don't mislead you guys. So the 38, so that is 36 and 49. What is the difference, guys?
36, 30, 13, 1, 1, 3.
So that is what we need to take because this is moving very fast, right? So from 38, if we take it, it went to 41, 44, 47, then it becomes 59. So 7 square, it becomes 4, 51, then it's 55. The problem is it has completed his 180 degrees already, 54. So, and it is like at 25. So what is happening here? It is trying to go to the next level. Wait a minute, 41, 51. So this one I'm a little bit doubtful, guys. Basically, it could retrace back from here in 50.43, 2562.5 has already gone up here, 47.38. That's where it reached in the post market. So from there, how much is that angle? It is 41.44. It covered 90 degrees. So we might see it going down further to here, 36. Because whenever it does a 180 degrees, we expect it to go down below this. I'll show you an example. So I would have expected it to go below 38.11 and come back, but it didn't. So that means it is looking to go down for the earnings, I feel. But again, it's not bearish. That means it's not bearish, but it's a good entry point. And also another thing to notice is, if you see this chart, let's go to the line chart just to see where is the support and the resistances. If we did the flat line support, the flat line support is somewhere here. And if you see here, there's a flat line support here, which is at, it touched this part already. So so it touched this and it's retracing back. So there's a possibility, but if it stays above the conversion line, then there's a possibility of it going up. If it stays below the conversion line and MA10, then there's a possibility of it going down. Okay.
And going down to 28, you are saying?
The conversion line is at 45.01 and the MA10 average 10 is at 42.59. So that's the deal with it. So today HDB entered for that only reason because it was above the cloud and above the conversion and the average 10. So if you see here, 279.13 and the average 10 is 278.61. It just cleared it 5 minutes before it closed. Okay. So again, you have to use all your odds for the things, right? Basically, Gann Square will tell you, has it completed its rotation, has it completed its multiple of 90s, and then you can use that and see, hey, did it retrace completely? Let me give another, I was telling you, I'll give you an example, right?
Can we look at the zoom maybe? Is what is a good example?
Zoom is pretty bad, actually. It's in the cloud.
I know, that's why. Is it retracing from the 180 or what? Why?
No, oh, yeah. This is total. It's a big angle, right? It covered a multiple of 90, and from there it has been falling. Yeah, this is a classic example. But I wanted to show you something small to see what happens. That's what I'm thinking. Hold on. What is there? Any stock? What did we do recently? Oh, let's look at Snap. Look at Snap. This is something that we played today. Look at this. Snap went from 38.67 to 45.60, right? So if I do this, 38.67, 38.6, that is like 41.6, 44.6, right? So it covered a 90-degree angle. Look at how it fell. It fell 90 degrees again, 45.60, 42.60. Then it went to, let me write that angle for you also, 45.60. It fell 42.6, 39.6. But look at it, it went below this 38, 38.67, and it went to 37.35, right? 37.35, and then it started coming back. So, but what I'm trying to tell is whenever you do this 90-degree, when it completes, it tries to give it back and then goes back. That's why sometimes you want to make sure it is a multiple of, not a multiple of 90 and then go further. So those kind of things. So you know for sure it is going to go back all the way back up. Apple, oh, by the way, guys, Apple is a good example. Apple, if you look at the long term, if you look at the high it made, it went from 124.58. Actually, this is bad. That's why if you look at the Apple, 124.58 to 136, right? So it is a 90 degrees. That's why it fell down so much. If it had, but there are some stocks which would have, like HD. If I take long term, it has always been like HD. If you see here, 278 for, if you take, let's take a daily chart or line chart to give you more. So look at this. It is going from 263.92 till 290. So this is like, we know it went to 135 degrees, the support was not 90 degrees. We know that it was going to go back. So that's what, so, but it might retrace and then it give you a big move. For example, this one, if I take a Fibonacci here and it went below this line, right, 262.03, so it looks like it wants to go to 302. That's what it looks like tomorrow, the closing. So let's see if it closes there. So if I take the latest ones, this is what it is. It looks like 305. Okay? Because the reason is it completed only 135 degrees here, and it now goes to 225 degrees, and then it further go up and up and up. I'm sorry? I think we are on the top of the hour, guys. Anything else you wanted to discuss, or?
Yeah, can you take quick glance at Nvidia? Last one.
Oh, that's also on 18th, right? Yeah. Mm. Nvidia. Okay, let's do this. What are you looking at this chart? What does it tell you? It is very, very close to the white line, the baseline, right? So it doesn't look like it can move. It has a lot of move up for the earnings. If you go also, you see this. This is the max it could go. That is like what, 551, which already touched. No, it didn't touch. So 550, and then it has a big fall coming, I believe. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, let's draw this clearly. Maybe just to not to read it. Just to see where is the down part. Okay, this is a clean down. Let's do this. Man, getting a square sometimes is bad. Okay, that's fine. Let's write something. Looks like some move is there, man. Did this look like a square, guys? I'm just thinking. So sometimes you have to be very, very, like, you know, sometimes I draw it on the big screen, and then this one is like small screen. So that's why you see the differences. So yeah, the square gets convoluted. It looks like pretty good. It looks very bullish, basically. You see this? It is above the conversion on the weekly, and it's also above the MA10 on the weekly. And if you look here, let's say this one, if you just take this one, just here, it is 25%. So we are looking at minimum we are looking at, and what is this angle? Let's see, 492 to 583. So if you do 492, it's like 503. Sorry guys, I'm going a little fast. 514. Basically, you have to do 441, 22 square, and all those things, right? It goes to bigger numbers. So I have been doing it for a while, so I remember it. But if you want to do that, 537, 539. Sorry guys, 539, 561, 573, 585. So what is happening here? Let's see. Where did it end? It ended at 596 or what? It ended at 587, right? So how much is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like it may, but the thing is, it's producing mixed signals. Number one, it gave us 492, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 180 degrees are completed. And then if you look here, it's already completed, but it didn't complete a little bit more. So 585, 597. So if it goes here, yeah, I'm not sure about this, guys. I'm thinking the first stop is 62.5. Then it might fall down a little bit before it goes. But I would not play it because it's giving me a mixed signal. First of all, it's below the conversion, and it's also below, which is below, it is also below the moving average trend. So you need to watch out for that. If it closes above these two things for the earnings, and since it is already above both of them in this one, then you might see a potential of going to this point, 575, and then if it's very bullish, it can go to 600. But I feel it came from the cloud. It didn't touch the bottom part of the cloud yet. So I think it has a little bit of retracement all the way down here to 492 to 485. That's what I'm thinking. Does that explain?
Yep, thanks. So how accurate these projections are? So did you got chance to look in the past based on the past performance?
See, the projections are like, see, I don't use the Gann Square of Gann Fans a lot, but that gives me an idea that it has a little more room to go or want to go, right? But we don't know, the problem that we have is we don't know ultimately what is the price the stock wants to go, right? So it will keep on vacillating between until the price is aligned with the time, right? For example, here you see price volume weekly. Let's say it is right now, tomorrow it is pointing to 660, right? But does it want to stop there, or it wants to go to 700, 740, right? Then it might buy some more time. Are you getting what I'm trying to say, Subara?
Mm-hmm.
So this one I just used to see how much space does it have. Like if it doesn't have any space to move, then you know for sure it is going down, right? Then I use my Gann Square of 9 to see does it completed any rotations, 180 degrees, 360 degrees, and did it give up everything and come back? Those kind of things, right? So when you see, so again, it's all stacking up the odds. And then when you see these things, right? You know, for example, right, if you take this one, if you are doing generally based on the chart, right, what you would do, you would say, oh, okay, I have this flat line, then I'll draw another flat line here, right, and see if it is breaking through and then comes through, right? At some point of time, you want to know, hey, there are only two theories that will give you what is the ultimate price it could go to. One is Gann Square of 9, and the second one is Elliott wave analysis, right? Like Elliott wave analysis will give you only if you know the first wave, then you can predict the third wave. But this Gann Square of 9 will tell you exactly where it could go to, right? I'm not saying go and short it, but at least don't buy it until it reaches that price. That's all I'm saying. You're getting what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
If it is looking bullish for you, you don't want to be like, going and shorting. For example, if it's above the cloud, you don't want to go and short at that point of time, right? That's what it is.
Got it. Thanks.
Again, all these, we have to understand that trading is a probability game, right? Like, sometimes I've seen stocks where they go so high when they give such good revenue. For example, Microsoft, all these people, they didn't go up, right? Oh, let's look at Microsoft. The Microsoft is like, if you see, the chart has been, look at this. It has been, let me delete this because this is one problem. If you are using it on a laptop and then use it on a desktop, then it will all be skewed up. So you want to make sure. This is one problem with Gann Fans, but is it worth it? Yeah, I think so, but that's fine. Okay. You look at this. So you see this. We predicted some days back it definitely wants to go to 250, but there's a plenty of time available. It is definitely bullish. It is above the conversion. It is above the baseline, and it's above the moving average trend. But if you look here, it's been consolidating for a long period of time, right? Look at this chart. But when it makes a break, it might go big. That's what I'm saying. So if you see Microsoft, how much degrees does it complete? If you see here, 200, it went to 207, 214, 221. So it completed 135 degrees and then it went to 37.5 degrees. So it has a potential of going to 231. So that's what we are looking for. So 231 is possible for that one. Okay. So these things will help you make good decisions based on your time and frame and time and all those kind of things. So if you look back here and see, hey, is 231 possible here? Yes, it's possible, right? Because the line is way ahead above 231. That's how I will look at it. Make sense, Subara?
Hey, can we look at XPEV, which is actually a competitive, I mean, it's like a similar to NEO, quickly.
Okay, sure.
Very bullish.
But let's go. XPV, first of all, it doesn't have enough data on the weekly charts, but because it has just
And
started.
it's a recent IPO. Right?
Yeah, that's what. So usually you won't be accurate if I do that. But we can do a Gann Square of 9 and see what it is. So if you see here, it started from 1850 low and it has gone to a high of, this is the part where it, look at the Fibonacci guys. 1850, then it will what will happen is 2050, 2250, 24, I'm sorry, I'm just going 24, 27, 30, 30, 36, 39, 50. Then what happened, it fell 36, 33, 36, it fell 90 degrees and it went up. Look at this, it reached the 150 degrees, which is 50. So there's a very good chance of it falling down. It went from 62.5 retracement. And let's see where it is. Did it fall already? Oh, it fell there. So it is going to the 162.5 retracement. Yeah, guys, it has a little bit of move to 62.91. Possible.
Yeah, sorry, I may ask for another one more minute. In a similar
Thank you,
line,
Srini.
Lee Auto, like XPV, Lee and Neo.
Yeah, I know.
I'm hoping if Neo goes down tomorrow, it may impact these two guys. Let's see, what does Lee say?
Lee. Okay, let me make it a little big. Okay, again, if you look at it, it looks like, I don't know. This is daily, right? I'm looking at it. Price. D is like an old one, or it has a lot of, it also doesn't have that much data. No point looking at Gann Fans. So you see this 87.5, 62.75, 62.5, 2340, it's a 50% retracement. So it is everything, the maximum golden ratio number is 162.5, guys. So one way to look at it is, okay, what is this going to, it is 3687. Let's look at another way to see if it is any different. We go here. Man, this is way above the charts. Yeah, I don't know. It's like a bar rebounded. It should fall, I feel, maybe. I don't know. It's way over the door. Let me see how much angle it covered. 35, 38. Oh, it is going to 41 then. Okay. It wants to touch the 41, guys. Yeah. 270 is the death angle. Okay, one more thing in Gann Square. Whenever it goes to 270, we call it a death angle. The reason being is most of the times it retraces. Okay. So it looks like from 23, it's gone to 4081. So it wants to go to 4106, which is possible from 3684, and then it will fall down. Okay. From 4081, how much did it fall? 37, 34, 31, 35 degree angle. Okay. So it has some move, guys, but I don't know if it can go to how much. But the stochastics RSI is how much? RSI is 82, overbought. Okay. So are you planning to buy this or are you net to buy?
No, I took some what I call puts for tomorrow. I'm just trying to play with Lee, and it's long puts.
So one thing I will be very careful is it's about the moving average trend. It's about the conversion. So you don't want to never short. I got burned so many times. Never short a stock that is in an uptrend. Okay?
I'm playing with lattes. If it hits, also okay, or not, also miss also.
When it earnings,
Sorry.
does it have an earnings or no?
No, actually, XPV had 3 days back, and Lee had yesterday, and tomorrow is Neo.
Yeah.
These three guys are like Chinese auto EV.
You should post
sector.
all these earnings, man, Subbarao, on the thing. We will know. Yeah, I know you posted once, but you know, that day was like we were not busy, I believe. But you should post. Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
good if all of them make money, right? That's what it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Let me stop the recording. Oh, okay. Before we go there, Diva, are you there? So just to finish it off, guys. So far today, you have been learning a lot about the technicals. So you will be able to get a grasp on it only if you use it. So I would highly recommend you to start using them and see, get a charting tool, whatever it is. TradingView is one of the best free tools. You can start trading and then we can predict the prices, right? They basically, and we are all there as a group and we can make it happen. Okay, that's what it is. So Diva, are you there, my friend? Vaka?
Srini, I'm planning to use your referral for that TC. TC is the best one you said, right?
Yes. TC 2000 is like, it's much more than a charting tool. I get automated scans, and if you're using their, they also have a trading platform. If you use that, you can use
I might not use trading platform. I just use.
Then you can use your. I use a lot of scans. For example, as I was showing you in the other thing, I use what are my bullish stocks, bearish stocks, and all those kind of things. So if you're a kind of a guy who sees yourself as using a lot of scans, then I do a lot of journaling on that thing. Like I do scans, I do alerts. I tell them to alert me when a price reaches a particular price, and then I do journaling. So these three things itself is it pays for me. That's what it is.
A quick question on this. You said the interactive brokers also has a similar one, right? Is it comparable, or you still recommend TC?
Did I say that?
Interactive brokers.
Interactive brokers is a trading platform, not a charting platform, right?
But they do provide charts and other things.
Not everybody
Not to
provides.
this extensive.
Even E-Trade provides. But,
Right.
but as I said, these guys are very comprehensive. They also have like proprietary indicators like TSV, time segmented volumes, and there are other kind of indicators and all those things which are very proprietary. And more of all, it is not merely for the charts, right? I told you, as I mentioned, I needed the automated scans.
Just asking your opinion because I didn't use both. None of these I used. So.
Oh, okay. So, that's what I'm telling. What I'm saying is I'm trying to explain to you why I use TC 2000. Okay. TC 2000 is for my automated scans, alerts, and for journaling. And my trading platform is different. I use it for different needs. But so if you are a kind of guy who wants to get all those kind of alerts, scans, and then TC 2000 will be the best thing for you.
Thank you, Srini.
Yeah, does that make sense? Did I explain?
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Okay, well, finally, we also wanted to, I wanted to talk to you about our service, which we have. Again, what we do here is based on all the technical analysis, we provide 6 to 8 option picks every week that provides you the learning along with it, telling you why we entered the trade, what is the exit criteria, and where is the stock target price, and also the option target price. The reason is why we say that is if you want to play stocks, you can play with the stocks. If you want to play with options, and you can play, and we'll also give you the option target. And we also do a lot of emphasis on position sizing, just to make sure that you are not burning yourself off for any of the trades. As with anything, guys, we don't promise that all the trades will be successful, but we'll be guiding you through all the trades. That's what this is about. And we also have a 5-day free trial with the monthly subscription. So check it out. And, there's no harm in checking out, right? Check it out and let us know your thoughts. Okay.
Thank you. Awesome, Srini. You're
Thanks
awesome.
a lot, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah. Anything else?
Bye-bye.
Okay. Hey, have a relaxed evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.